worldwide pandemic has broken out. The virus is untreatable and there is no vaccine. Although scientists around the world are working on one, this virus has a high fatality rate and is spreading rapidly, and it is unlikely that a vaccine will be created quickly enough to halt the spread of the disease. There are 10 CRYOGENIC chambers at your facility. There are a few dozen other such facilities worldwide, at which technicians must make similar choices. Together, the labs must ensure that the right people are chosen to maintain the genetic diversity of the human species.
The technician in this story is presented with a dilemma. It demonstrates the difficulty of making moral decisions and the need of making them. Who will live? Who will die? And how should these decisions be made?
Hi, we're the farmers. I'm the farmer's wife. This is my infant child, and this is my farmer hubby here. We should be safe because we can feed everybody and give them lots of food, and we can also procreate. So therefore, we'll have lots of people in the world. That's why we should be safe.
I'm the religious leader, and although it'll be really fantastic if you guys kept me, I think you guys would benefit taking a different person with you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm the environmental scientist, and I just published this book. It's called Environmental Science and Engineering. I know everything there is to know about soil and water and the environment and spices. So I think you guys should take me because I will be able to come up with alternative energy sources. I can help with farming and agriculture, and I'll be a big asset. So I think you guys should freeze me and then unfreeze me and everything will be wonderful.
Hi, I'm the water technician. And this is why you want me, because I have provided safe drinking water for rural parts of Africa, and I can assure everyone in the future that I will not give everyone river cholera, okay? Hi, I'm a novelist. And welcome to my library. I want to introduce to you one of my favorite books, written by my favorite author, Kim Price Glynn. And the book is called Strip Club, Gender Power and Sex Work. And this is why you should keep it, because books will give you knowledge and power. I'm the democratic leader of the society as we speak, and this is why you should choose me for a cryogenic chamber, because you guys need a leader. I want to be that guy. Hi, I'm the communist leader of my country, and I just want to say you need me in the future, okay? I want to make sure that everyone has equal rights to resources and all healthcare services. That's all. Hey there, I'm the doctor. You may know me from one of my most famous, infamous surgeries, one of the appendectomies I performed here locally. I just performed a bilateral below-the-knee amputation, excuse me. Besides that, you want me in the future because I have amazing surgeries.
To answer this case study, ethical theories assist in making these decisions by having principles that direct one to different aspects of the situation, thus allowing alternative perspectives to be considered. Ethical theories do not always provide an answer to the ethical problem, but they allow for a better understanding of the values and attitudes of others by highlighting the different ways that diverse people approach the same problem. The model of ethical decision-making involves identifying the issue, collecting the data, analyzing the issue from various ethical, theoretical perspectives, reaching a collaborative decision, and evaluation of the decision and reflection on issues are important components of the process. Community health workers and those they serve benefit through the use of formalized decision-making processes when engaging in particularly challenging ethical dilemmas. Frameworks exist because their value lies in the process to ensure careful deliberation rather than in providing an answer to a dilemma. There are 5 major ethical theories: deontology, utilitarianism, rights, casuist, and virtue. Utilitarianism will be our focus as we feel this theory resonates most with the basis of our decisions. Utilitarianism is based on the greatest good for the greatest number of people. We will also briefly discuss deontology. Deontology was also discussed in our readings, which focuses on coming to a decision based on that is right or good. The scenario presented to us requires a collaborative approach with a decision that is based on the population as a whole. Morality is the beliefs, values, and social norms as to what is right and wrong, as seen in our actions and behaviors towards others. Morality describes a sociological phenomenon, a presence of certain rules and standards in the society. Moral norms present in each society serve as a basis to ensure human intercommunication that is mutually beneficial. Without such fundamental rules as don't kill and don't steal, a stable society would not be possible. However, it should be noted that not all rules are related to moral norms. For example, eating with a knife and a fork is part of a cultural etiquette, while crossing the street on a green light is part of observing traffic regulations and not an adherence to social moral standards. Ethics is the process of carefully thinking through what is right or wrong in behavior, decision-making, and values. Ethics is important as it helps in explaining reasons standing behind human behavior. The study of ethics is not only thinking and reflecting on what we believe to be good, but also examining critically the social norms, practices, moral issues, and ethical foundations of our societies. The study of ethics is not only thinking and reflecting on what we believe to be good, but also examining critically the social norms, practices, moral issues, and ethical foundations of our societies. Theoretical ethics asks questions about how we ought to act, what our responsibilities are to others, what sorts of people we could try to become, and the arguments that can be given in support of any of the claims about these things being made. Bioethics is a branch of ethics that applies these theoretical considerations to specific issues that arise in connection with the body, with the practice of medicine, and with technological developments that have implications for human beings and how we live. Ethical dilemma. When there are equally compelling reasons for and against 2 or more possible courses of action, and where choosing one course of action means that something else is relinquished or let go. This case study truly has presented us with an ethical dilemma. Ethical theories. Key skill in articulation and analysis of ethical issues is the ability to provide a rationale based on principle to help back up our position. Theories give us guidance to allow us to make consistent, non-arbitrary decisions and to justify them to others. Theories attempt to fit together and build upon what we most confidently and firmly believe about fundamental moral matters, and thereafter to extend our judgments into less certain areas. Various ethical theories emerged from vastly different philosophical positions. Principles have been developed from multiple ethical theories to be used in concrete applications for decision-making and problem-solving. Principles must be assessed to determine which might take priority, given the particular circumstances for that situation. Principles have been developed from multiple ethical theories to be used in concrete applications for decision-making and problem-solving. Principles must be assessed to determine which might take priority, given the particular circumstances for that situation. Utilitarianism, also known as consequentialism. An action is deemed to be ethically sound if it minimizes the negative outcomes and maximizes positive outcomes. Deciding upon the most ethically sound option is straightforward. And calculation of good and bad outcomes, choosing the one that produces happiness and the least sadness. The goal is based on achieving the greatest good for the greatest number of people, weighing consequences, benefits, or detriments that result from one's actions, thus determining moral conduct and a course of action. This theory is more concerned with the outcome of the action versus the person's intentions. In contrast with deontology, the end justifies the means. Mill's refinement of utilitarianism. Mill refers to the principle of utility as the greatest happiness principle. While Mill's principles are similar to that of Bentham's, Mill argues that there are different kinds of pleasures, and they differ depending on where the pleasures are coming from and who is experiencing them. It is the pleasures that hold the value around the decisions made. These can also be compared to happiness. When comparing two pleasures, one is generally more desirable based on the experience of others, thus signifying how one option is chosen over another. By considering what may be pleasurable or unpleasurable, one can choose a morally more desirable option. Another key principle to Mill's utility is that happiness should not be weighted strictly on that of oneself, but rather on the happiness of everyone that will be affected with the action. What should be considered is the option that will provide the most happiness for the greater number of people. Act utilitarianism. This version of utilitarianism states that the option that provides the most happiness for the largest number of people should be chosen. This version has been criticized on many levels, one being the fact that there are no boundaries set which could allow for non-moral actions to be taken. For example, if there are a group of individuals who get pleasure from seeing people tortured, Act utilitarianism states that this is morally acceptable because it is bringing happiness to individuals, even though the suffering of one is taking place. Act utilitarianism also states that our own happiness, or the happiness of our loved ones, should never have more worth than the happiness of others. Any person can make the decision as to what will generate the most happiness, as long as they are able to make a rational decision. Rule utilitarianism suggests that there should be rules and principles around utilitarianism, rather than being applied by actions. These rules are set around a moral code that looks at producing good based on what is acceptable in a society. Rule utilitarians argue that this is compatible with aspects of Mill and Bentham in the sense that the individuals living in these societies will be happier with these sets of rules than those without, due to the ability for one to consider their family or certain people. For example, the act of saving your child would no longer be an act of violation, but rather an obligation to take care of your children. Why utilitarian remains an important moral theory. In many cases, consequences are important. It is important to take in consideration the interests of many people rather than only a few. It is also important to include animals in the decisions. Deontological ethics. Deon, meaning duty in Greek. Adherence to rules, obligations, or duties based on a moral code. Reasoning is not concerned with the outcome of the action, but the action itself. Kantianism was developed by Immanuel Kant based on performing the right actions for the right reasons. An example: it is universally wrong to lie. A patient has just returned from surgery and was found to have a large inoperable tumor in their colon and does not yet know the results. The surgeon passed on a message to not tell the patient, and he will discuss it with him tomorrow, when he is more alert and when family is present. The patient asks you if they found any cancer. According to deontological ethics, you would tell the patient the truth because you believe it is wrong to lie. There are 3 issues with this theory. It is difficult to determine what the duties, rules, or obligations are due to some being unclear. There are often multiple or competing duties, and it is difficult to choose. Lastly, to only pay attention to the action and not the outcome of duties can be irresponsible and impractical. So who did we choose to save? Both the Democratic leader and the Communist leader. Each ideology should balance each other out, and both are of reproductive age. We chose the water treatment specialist. He is a male and can reproduce, and water is a necessity of life. According to the utilitarianism theory, he will provide us with safe drinking water, which will benefit all. Next, we save the environmental specialist. She is female, and she has great knowledge in taking care of the environment. We save the farmer, his wife, and their daughter who has a disability. They have proven that they can reproduce. We feel the farmer is very important in producing food and can educate others in the future. The farmer only agreed to go if his whole family could go, so we found it was worth using 3 spots in the chambers because his expertise would benefit all. The spiritual leader was also saved. When they wake up, they will be grieving for lost family and friends. We feel the spiritual leader can provide spiritual guidance and peace to all, no matter what beliefs they may have. The skilled surgeon. He has been unethical in the past. However, we believe he also has great capacity to do good for many, and we are hoping the spiritual leader can give him guidance. The pros outweigh the cons, so we decided to keep him.
So did you decide who you're going to keep out of the chamber between me and you? Well, it's been a difficult decision and there's lots of things to weigh and, pros and cons to each. But I really think that, I'm getting older and, my wife is dead and I got a daughter and she would never go without her dog. So I have to keep, if I was to be put into the chambers, I'd have to have my daughter, her dog, and me, and that takes up too much room. So, you're young, you haven't had any kids, you got your whole life ahead of you. Why don't you stay, or you go and I'll stay, and I'll make sure that this is all working good. What do you think?
I think that sounds like a good plan. I totally
Nobody move! Everybody relax. Take it easy, okay? I'm gonna make the decision for both of you, okay? You're gonna take me along, otherwise you and your little friends are not gonna be on the ride, okay? You're gonna take me along and we're gonna blow this place up, okay? You got it?
Okay.
Oh no! The gangster has complicated everything! We decided we would tell him that we would freeze him in the chamber. Then we would remove him, which would kill him. Although this is wrong, it is for the greater good of all people, according to the utilitarianism theory. After that, we would place the younger technician into the cryogenic chamber. This would complete our selection of the 10 chosen people to maintain the diversity of the human species. Who was not saved? We found the original 5 occupants provided no use in maintaining the genetic diversity of the human race. Plus, they were all terminally ill, with no cure yet available. Because of this, they would die soon after awakening. We did not save the novelist. He was elderly and not of reproductive age. Although he was interesting, we found he was of no benefit to society. As stated before, we did not save the gangster because he could not contribute anything positive to the larger group. He was a threat to their safety and security. We also did not save myself, who is the older technician, my daughter, and her dog. According to the utilitarianism theory, you are to base your decisions on the greatest good for the greatest amount of people. Therefore, I cannot put my own needs ahead of others. Therefore, I will let the younger technician go, who is younger and of reproductive age and will benefit society in the future. We felt there were some people missing to represent the group. The educator to facilitate learning and to expand knowledge, a psychiatrist counselor to treat mental health disorders that may occur, especially post-traumatic stress disorder. We felt nurses should go along to assist with any medical needs and to help the physician. We felt a lawyer would be important. They have the knowledge needed to help with crime and just to ensure the law is followed and policies. We also felt police officers would be of use. They would help patrol society and just manage any crime. An engineer would be important to help with building and planning and development. And we felt also an epidemiologist would help with any viruses or bacteria outbreaks.
For God and those assembled here, I solemnly pledge to adhere to the code of ethics of the nursing profession. Remember.
The Code of Ethics serves as a foundation for nurses' ethical practice, developed for nurses by nurses. It provides guidance for ethical relationships, responsibilities, behaviors, and decision-making. It serves as an ethical basis for nurses to advocate for quality work environments that support the delivery of safe, compassionate, competent, and ethical care. It serves to inform other healthcare professionals and the public of the nurses' ethical commitments and responsibilities nurses accept as being part of a self-regulatory profession. A living document was created by the Canadian Nurses Association in 2008 that outlines 7 nursing values and ethical responsibilities. They are: number 1, providing safe, compassionate, competent, and ethical care. 2, to promote health and well-being. 3, promoting and respecting informed decision-making. 4, preserving dignity. 5, maintaining privacy and confidentiality. 6, promoting justice. Number 7, being accountable. Community health workers are bound by professional codes of ethics. Often these codes provide little practical guidance in the face of ethical dilemma or crisis. Nurses' self-reflection and dialogue with other nurses and healthcare providers are essential components of ethical nursing practice. Nurses are moral agents in providing care. Therefore, it is a good thing we are technicians and not nurses in this case study. If it were nurses needing to make the decision, the ethical result would be to withdraw, as a decision like this goes against the practice code of ethics.